Hello, my name is Lucas Burton, and I'm going to be explaining to you how a Formula One race week works and what Formula One is. What is Formula One? Well, put simply, Formula One is a motorsport, or a sport, for cars and racers to drive around a track and see who's fastest. Each year, between February and November, there's a Formula One season. Within that season, there's 10 teams with 2 drivers per team. The cars being raced are some of the most high-tech, innovative, and expensive science experiments put on wheels. They're works of art that are articulately designed to go around a track as fast and efficiently as possible. The drivers of these cars are world-class athletes, like this, who have to endure hours of G-force that most of us normal folk couldn't handle for a few seconds. Each season, there's 2 championships that are being fought for: the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship. The Drivers' Championship is pretty self-explanatory. The driver who wins the most, or at least comes closest to winning most often, scores the most points, and therefore by the end of the season wins the Drivers' Championship. The Constructors' Championship, on the other hand, is won by the teams whose drivers score them the most points. There are 23 races that happen every F1 season, typically spanning once every other week. Each race is held at a different track around the world, usually in really affluent and wealthy countries and cities. How does a race week work? Well, it begins on Friday with practice 1. Nice and simple. Practices, starting with the first one, are set times and dates for the teams and drivers to practice how their car operates on that specific track. Later on that same Friday, practice 2 is held. These practice sessions are vital for the teams and drivers to hone in their car and dial it in so that once qualifying and race day come around, they're as prepared as possible. Continuing on to Saturday, the third and final practice session is held. Later on that same Saturday, qualifying is held. Qualifying is used to set who starts where on the racing grid, like this. How qualifying is set up is pretty confusing, so try your best to follow along, okay? There are 3 qualifying sessions set back to back to back, each spanning 10 minutes. Q1, Q2, and Q3, or qualifying 1, 2, and 3. The drivers have those 10 minutes to set the fastest lap time possible, aka who can go around the track in the least amount of time. They'll go around the track multiple times within the 10 minutes, trying to shave milliseconds off their lap time. Once the first qualifying session is over, the 5 drivers with the slowest lap time are eliminated and their grid positions are set. The driver with the slowest lap time out of everyone is set in 20th, second slowest 19th, so on and so on. Come second qualifying session, now there's only 15 drivers competing and they have all their lap times reset, so they have to reset the quickest lap time. The same rules apply though. They have 10 minutes to set the quickest lap time and the 5 slowest are eliminated. For the third and final qualifying session, the top 10 drivers are racing to set the fastest lap time, and the fastest lap time starts the race in the very front of the pack. This gives that driver a significant advantage because they're as far ahead as possible and they don't get stuck in the traffic when the race starts. Whoever sets the fastest lap time above everyone else in the third and final qualifying session starts in that number 1 position. Finally, it's Sunday. After all this anticipation, all this practice, all this qualifying, it's finally race day. The cars line up on the grid based on where they qualified in the qualifying sessions. You watch the lights go out and the race commences. The race typically lasts an hour and a half, and within those 90 minutes, the teams have to create a strategy for the driver to follow to get the best efficiency and endurance and also performance out of the car. And on top of that, there's 19 other racers going wheel to wheel around these tracks, and everyone has to drive like it's their last day alive. It is a true test on athletic ability on the drivers and engineering and strategic prowess on the team's end, and it is beautiful to watch. Finally, after the 90 minutes is over, and after however many laps have been completed, the race is finished. The top 3 stand at a podium, first, second, and third respectively, and then they celebrate and it's over. The race itself and all the days leading up to it are so exciting and so fraught with anticipation that it makes it so fun to watch. And that's why I'm so happy to have taught you about it. Thank you for listening.